Boom. Hey, everybody, we're live once again for the Power Lunch, man. I'm so excited that we got some people online. What I want to do is, wait a second, we got a couple other people trying to get in. So I'm going to say this. Over the last couple of years, there are very few people that I can say have been consistently supportive of what we've been doing and attempting to accomplish with the overall vision of the Evolve Media Group. I remember when I first started the website evomag.co, I started a feature which is coming back, might I add, in October, called the Business Trendsetters. And then I remember putting an all call out for a bunch of people to who wants to be featured on my blog as a business trendsetter. And I get a message from a young man, and it was like, wow, what an exciting thing to have happen, because we were starting to get a lot of people, responding, but it was very few people. And I don't want to make race an issue, but it was very few African American or minority business owners that that reached back. I had tons and tons and tons of business owners, but none of them looked like me. When I'm featuring on my on the feature, I'm like, what in the world is going on? And then my guest today, Reuel Robinson, hit me up. And I'm not gonna lie, I was the happiest man alive when I saw him. It's funny, but I really did. I really, really was a happy man, because it let me know that I wasn't in this thing alone as far as this progressive thinking on entrepreneurship was concerned. And this was, matter of fact, it's been almost 3 years, brother.
Yeah,
Almost 3 years. Some of the stuff that people are doing today, we were doing 3 years ago, and ahead of the game. People were thinking we were crazy for featuring people and getting people on our blog and doing all that stuff. And then we get this gentleman and his company pressing towards the mark, and watching his company develop and grow and grow and grow and grow has been a complete blessing for me, because now I get to see, not only do I get to see great things happen for him, but I get to see how things, we eventually created a relationship that now great things are happening with him. And that relationship between Evolve Media Group and pressing towards the mark is our public relations arm called Thrive Public Relations, or Thrive PR for short. Another platform that we haven't even scraped the tip of the iceberg with it. We're going to be towards the end of the year, when we start rolling out full-fledged on it. This thing is going to revolutionize our businesses as a whole. So I decided to, again, when we decided to do this Power Lunch thing, I had to bring him on. I had to do it. I had to have him as one of the first, because he's been one of the most consistent supporters of the vision of the Evolve Media Group from the inception. Almost, well, the magazine is 5 years old in October, but we've been connected, right, for about 3 years, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and Pressing Towards the Mark Consulting?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, my name is Reuel Robinson, owner of Pressing Towards the Mark Consulting. Now, what Pressing Towards the Mark is, just kind of give you a backstory. We've actually been going on 3 years this past month. This past month will actually make 3 years. Originally, when I started Pressing Towards the Mark, I went for a consulting position out in Pennsylvania, and with so much background and experience and everything that I had, I said, you know what, someone recommended me, and I said, you know what, I really want to do this. I really feel that consulting is something that I can definitely see myself doing. So I ended up going for the job, for the interview, didn't get it, and then I came back home and thought, rather than focusing on what I could do or what I could offer one company or this company or that company, why not create something myself? So that's where Pressing Towards the Mark came from. I wanted something that could be revolutionary, something that could touch so many lives, so many businesses, so many nonprofits, and something that I thought that, what are we doing in our everyday life? What what is something that, even whether you're religious or you're Christian, something that we're pushing toward an objective and a goal. So that's where the name Pressing Towards the Mark came from, because whether you're doing it, whether in life or in business, it's a goal. There's something that you're looking for, something that you want to reach for. So with Pressing Towards the Mark, we help nonprofits, we help small businesses nationwide. Now, originally it started just in, South Jersey. I'm from Camden, about 5 minutes away from Philadelphia, and now from that moment we've branched out from helping those in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Texas, California, Florida. So we're pretty much all over, and I'll just thank Darnell for allowing me to be able to have this experience, to be able to speak to you guys and to just be able to impart some understanding and things that I've learned, whether they've been taught through Darnell or others, or things that I've just had to learn the hard way. So thank you.
Man, super. I didn't know that so when we did the feature, you were just getting started.
I was literally just getting started.
Wow. Who would have thought? Man, that's exciting. So we also have, I just want to interject right quick. We got Mr. Charles Powell. He's one of our partners in New York. I'm so excited about that relationship as well. Charles, we're going to get to you in a second, but I just got to tell you guys about Mr. Charles Powell right quick. This man is on fire about helping people build their dreams. I have not met, there are very few people that I can pay homage to like that, because of their heart, their passion, their goals. Everything about them says that I'm excited for others, not for what I can achieve because of others, but because of others' success. I'm excited because of that. I'm excited to see you succeed, you succeed. The blessing of watching others succeed, and you have a hand in it, is in that process you are able
Absolutely.
And you receive the blessing of benefits of watching and helping people succeed and reach their success goals. So Charles Powell is one of those people. If you haven't had an opportunity to book, do so. I suggest it. You can find him. He's on there, and then we're going to be starting a project with him up there in Long Island called the Entrepreneur's Warehouse, where this kind of meeting and other trainings are going to be made available to the everyday person, business owner in the community. We're going to make something happen in that community over there regarding small business ownerships and things that you can do, tools that you can use to build your business, while also supplying people with a location that they can come in, meet, talk, and know that there are other people with like minds sitting in that same room to help encourage them, inform them,
Absolutely.
and be of a great support. So I really wanted to say thank you to Mr. Charles Powell for being on. Do you want to say something, Charles? Oh, I guess he's muted out. So we'll go ahead and go on with that. We'll keep going forward. So when we started Thrive with the idea that we wanted to have an in-house PR firm help us build out the magazines and build the platform and be the kind of the go-to arm when it came to reaching out to businesses and business owners. And from there, it started to take on a life of its own. And what I mean by that is it started becoming more than just trying to be a PR firm. It started being more than just looking at a person and saying, we want to get the word out to you, but there's something that we have inside of our business model that can also deliver value to you. So we're not just getting information, but we wanted to deliver value. So we brought you on to kind of work out some of the logistics and to be the brain, the mastermind behind Thrive. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the basics of putting a PR campaign together, or the importance, I should say the basics, the importance of proper PR and how it affects their overall business.
Yeah, absolutely. So When speaking to Darnell last week and just for the past couple of weeks now, we've been working together through Thrive PR, and it's so simple because sometimes when you think of Thrive PR or PR in general, you think of just public relations, but not realizing what really goes into it and what it takes to really have a productive and efficient company or even an image. So what I wanted to do was just kind of help go through the top, in my opinion, the top 5 of the ways to build your personal brand and to build your image. A lot of times, especially in a business now, is we see so many entrepreneurs, whether they be local or national, statewide, there's so many entrepreneurs out there. Just right off the bat, you got someone who I just watched last night, Jimmy Fallon, building his personal brand, that now his brand, it follows him wherever he goes, to the Night Show, to, commercials, to sponsors, to partners, and how important it is to know who you are, to know where you're at, and to know where you're going. So with that being said, one of the first things that I would give advice to when it comes to building your personal brand is one of the first lessons is to be authentic and original. To be authentic and original. We see today where, it's good to be able to kind of take in advice and see where other people are coming from and to see what they can offer. And you say, what, I want to be like, whether it be Tony Robbins, I want to be like Oprah, I want to be like Tyler Perry. I see some characteristics, but when it comes down to what you're trying to do, it is best to be who you are. Don't try to be anyone else. Don't try to emulate anyone else. Don't try to we don't want a cookie-cutter image. You want to be able to say, what, I have something different, something unique, something original that I can offer someone. That goes a long way when it comes to business. It goes a long way when it comes to your personal image and your personal brand. Actually, let's go back to number 1, because what I'm thinking here is what I would recommend when it comes to building your brand. First thing, again, being authentic and original, is to start to write down different traits. Start to write down brainstorm different ideas and characteristics that make up who you are. Whether it be good, bad, just write them all down. Start brainstorming. Start leaving some things that you say, what, I want to be able to, I want people to see when they look at me is, whatever those characteristics may be. And over the past 5 years, start going back, start going back and saying, what kind of person have I developed into over the past 5 years? What have people seen me as being? And over the next 5 years, looking forward, what image am I going to try to portray? What do I want people to see me now as? Because even when it comes to social media, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Instagram, you have to now have a goal in mind. You have to have a thriving spirit in mind to say, this is who I want to be. This is what I want people to see when they look at me. Number 2, know your strengths. Know your strengths, but outsource your weaknesses. This has helped me quite a bit when it comes to identifying what I'm good at. We develop skills through time and through practice. So I'm not saying that if you're just not good at something, just throw it away and give it to somebody else. What I'm saying is know what you're good at, know what you can invest time in actually building and developing through the years. But then also, if you know what you're not good at, if there's just something in you that says, listen, I just can't do this, no matter what it is, then the next best thing is to be connected with those and to network and to, connect with those that are around you that are able to offer those giftings or are able to offer those services that you are not able to. Going back to our relationship, me and Darnell and I, that relationship there is that we were both good at networking. We're good at being able to sell ourselves, but there are certain things that I just cannot do. There's just something else, and I've developed these skills through time and through patience, but there's just certain things that I can't do. Darnell is able to reach certain individuals that I can never be able to reach. He's able to impact certain communities that I'm not able to impact. So with that, it's like I'm understanding my strengths. I know my strengths, but now when it comes to outsourcing your weaknesses, you get other qualified people in your team who is able to now come on board and say, you know what, I may not be good at this, but I'm now going to take from someone else's strength and build something better. That's the whole part when it comes to PR work, when it comes to your image, is being able to know your limitations, knowing where you can go, where you can't go, and building a strategic team around you to be able to take you to the next level. Number 3, every expert needs to be willing to learn. Every expert needs to be willing to learn. There is not a point in your life where you can say, I've known it all, I have nothing else to learn. You have to be willing to be a student. No matter, even if you're the teacher, no matter whether you're teaching locally, whether you're teaching nations, whether you're teaching across the country, you have to be willing to have somebody in your corner, a mentor, someone that you're able to actually take from. That's where Thrive PR is that we sit there and we come alongside our companies, we come alongside our clients, and we're able to now mentor them. It's not just about providing a service. It's about teaching you what goes into that service. It's about coming alongside you and help building you up. So that's extremely important. Every expert needs to be able to be or willing to learn. You have to be able to be adaptable. You have to be able to be teachable. Your image is important, but the thing is, you don't want to be so stuck in what you know or what you think you know that you're not willing to now adapt or to move and say, you know what, this isn't working for me. Let's throw that out. Let's do something else. There's for example, I had a client a couple of years ago that for years he had a very, very just bad image in the community. The job and the services were okay, but he didn't understand that the services that he offered was also connected to his personal brand. It was connected to his image. And the reason why he wasn't getting the results that he was looking for in his business was because he said, listen, my services are great. I'm doing this. I'm offering the community this. I'm giving guys jobs. I'm doing job training. But he had a bad reputation. Mm-hmm. So now with his bad reputation, there was no way for his service to move forward. There was no way for his company to move forward because his services were bad or his image was bad. So we worked alongside of him. And we worked alongside of him and we said, listen, this image, you need to find ways to try to change your image. People don't like who they see. They like the service. But once they meet the person behind the service, it turns them away. So what can we do to actually help you? So after about maybe weeks and months and months and months of helping him, it took a while to change that image. It took a while to be able to adapt to something more. And the reason why it took a while is because he thought, well, I've been doing this for so long. Why can't I just keep it as is? And you'll never want to be able to have a mindset of, well, I've done it for this long. I don't want to change it. Be adaptable. Be willing to be taught. Be willing to be mentored. Be willing to change. Because when it comes to anything that you do, whether it be in business or in life, sometimes it's just about adapting. It's about being able to kind of go with the flow, not in the sense of you're wavering all back and forth, but to be able to say, you know what, this isn't working for me or my company or my reputation. What tools do we need to move forward? Number four, be visible. What do I mean by that? Be visible. It sounds simple, but a lot of times when I say be visible, it's not just a physical presence, but also a social presence, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That you have to be able to be visible. If people don't even know that you even exist, if they don't know anything about your company, they don't know anything about you, it's hard to be able to sell anything, because at the end of the day, what you're selling is not necessarily the service or the product. What you are selling is yourself. It is proven that people are more likely to buy something from someone that they trust. We call these emotional buyers, that they're able to go into a supermarket, they're able to go into a Walmart, a Target, a Sears, a J.C. Penney's, and to be able to pick up something, not because whether they even like it, but the fact is they trust whoever is selling it. They trust the associate. So it's important that when it comes to building your brand, that you are visible as much as possible. Put yourself out there on Facebook. Put yourself out there on Twitter. Put yourself out there on Instagram. Let people know and see who you are. Not always just giving advice and trying to, offer your service or product, but be human, be visible. Allow people to see who you are before they even sell anything, before you even try to sell anything. Let people know who you are. Let them see who you are. Number 5, be impressionable and personal. Be impressionable and personal. You do not want to walk into whether it be a networking event, whether you're sitting down with a client or a customer, no matter where you're at, you want to be personal. You don't want to make it seem as if you're just there to sell a product or to get paid. That's the worst thing you could do. When building your image, it is best to relate to the person. That's where the word relationship comes from, is to relate to someone else, to relate to others. You want to be able to relate to whoever you're speaking to, because at the end of the day, as I said before, when it comes to building or selling something, they're not buying from you per se. They're not buying the product. They're buying the person. So if a person, going back to what I saw last night, give you another example, not even just last night, but even last night, Oprah. Someone like Oprah, her image is just, she could sell pretty much anything. And people would say, you know what, I'm going to buy it. Why? Not because of what she actually sells, but because of her personal brand. Tyler Perry, Jimmy Fallon, all these individuals, they're all personal brand ambassadors. Everything they do is about how it will reflect on them. How does the world see me? How do I represent myself? How do I come across to others? So whenever you're able to be impressionable, whenever you're able to be personal, whenever you're able to build your personal image and brand, the thing that's most amazing is you can pretty much sell anything, because people are buying from the person, not necessarily the product. So when it comes back to building your personal brand, what is important is those 5 things. Going through it again real quick: be authentic and original. Number 2, know your strengths, outsource your weaknesses. Number 3, every expert needs to be willing to learn. Number 4, be visible. And number 5, be impressionable and personal. Those 5 go a long way. Now, again, there's a lot more that goes into your public image, but from my understanding and from what I've learned, these top 5 go a long way and help to build upon, what you'll be doing, whether you can go from starting one business and then starting another business. Again, going back to Darnell, going from so many magazines and then going into, the Power Lunch, and to do so much what he's doing. He was not able and is not able to do that unless he was able to be impressionable, unless he was able to, number 1, be visible. Again, he had to be visible, because you're not going to go into a power lunch for someone that you just don't know. You're going to sit there. You might catch somebody the first 1 or 2 times, but then eventually consistency, you're going to say, listen, can I relate to who this person is? Can I see what they're selling? And now do I see myself in it? Number 1. Number 2, again, back to being impressionable and personal. He makes every single thing he does personal. It's extremely important that you are able to be personal with people. People don't want to seem like they're being sold to, or it's a cliche.
Exactly.
I want to be able, when I sit down with somebody, I want to know that they're interested in who I am. When I go sell something to a client and sell a service, whether it be through Pressing Towards a Mark or through Thrive, I want to be able to know that I want them to know that I care about them. I want them to know that it's not about whether I make the sale or not. Yes, you will benefit from those companies. Yes, we will offer that service. Yes, you will grow. But apart from that, if we had nothing to offer you in regards to a service, I want to be able to leave that conversation knowing that that person now thinks, you know what? He spoke to me as if it wasn't a sales pitch. He spoke to me because it mattered. He spoke to me because I matter to him. So matter to people. Make sure that you teach people how they matter, even apart from the sales pitch.
Exactly. Exactly. I have to say that everything that you said, brother, is so 100. I can't even begin to tell people how important those points are, because it's not always in the what you sell, but the who you sell. And
Yes.
everyone, when you're in business for yourself, everyone's buying you. They're buying who you are, whether you're good or bad or indifferent, whether they're happy with your service or not. They, at the end of the day, they bought you. They could be upset at you and hate you because your service is bad, but because they like you, it's not about the business. It's, even though you want to do the best process that you can and do the best business you can, they can be upset with you, but that has nothing to do with that upset with you in the process of the business. But because they related to you and you've made an impression on them, it goes beyond that, and they begin to understand, and you yourself become a better business owner because you're making those types of relationships. You're not selling the product, you're selling yourself. So then at the end of the day, you can easily make amends for something that has happened versus they're not impressed with you and the same type of situation happens. Now you have no back. Now you have absolutely no credibility with that individual. So when it's time to reckon, you're fighting against the grain, and that becomes a harder part of the process. Man, I really appreciate you taking the time out to sit down with us and educate everybody during this particular power lunch today, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited because
thank you.
Some of the new clients that we're bringing in for Thrive, their personal branding, we're remixing a lot of people's brands. We're building new websites for people, new marketing experiences. I'm super stoked because it means that we're meeting people at where they are. We're meeting their needs.
Yeah.
We're building relationships. It didn't come easy, brother. It did not come easy.
No, it takes time. It takes time and it takes consistency. That's the thing. Consistency.
It didn't come easy, brother. But what we did do is we stayed consistent. We remained authentic. We knew our strengths and our weaknesses. When we had that talk about Thrive, I said, I know what I can do here, but I know what you could do here as well. You know, I'm educating myself. Oh my God, this has been a continual education process for the two of us running in this PR firm like this, man. It really has become a continual educational process. So, you know, in being visible, man, you're as visible as they can be as well. You're definitely personable, brother, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time again, man, to sit down with us during this power lunch. You know, we're going to have many guests on. We're going to have you back on because we have
absolutely.
And so everybody, I wanted to say thank you for taking the time to view this video or be live with us here. If you're seeing this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button down there. Also be on the lookout for our new websites being launched over the next couple of months. We're going to be so excited. And then don't forget, man, connect with us on Facebook through Thrive Public Relations or the Evolve Media Group. You can't miss Thrive and you can't miss the Evolve Media Group because the Evolve Media Group is a gold E. It looks for you too.
Absolutely.
So we're excited for you. We're excited to see you grow. We're excited to see where you're going. Thank you once again for joining us for this or for today's Power Lunch. Thank you, and I appreciate you. We love you. You guys take care.
Take care.